Alright, what is up YouTube? This is Brian from Board Wipe Gaming here with a first place 10-0 perfect run of last month's Moralltach monthly number 30. There were 70 something players. We had 7 rounds of Swiss, cut to top 8. I went 7-0 in Swiss, 1 top 8, 1 top 4, and squeaked by the finals in game 3. Just barely in a game that I could have very easily lost. But the whole run was a lot of fun. This is the list I played. I didn't change anything from last month to this month. Last month I got top 8 in 29. And I didn't change anything. I like the main deck a lot. I don't know that I'm changing anything about the main deck going forward. The side and extra, if you're in that Discord we've been talking about a little bit, it's a little out of date. There's no DD Crows where there probably should be. And somebody asked me why I played Roach, and I couldn't really tell them. I don't know. I haven't summoned it in any of the MMs that I've played in. Could be taken out. For what? I'm not really quite sure yet. People talk about a second Pleiades. That hasn't come up yet for me, really. People talk about cutting chain, but I've actually made chain a handful of times. Every time I've made chain, I've stacked a Diana to the top, and it's been good, and I like everything else. So I think Ragna Zero is something that people talk about maybe. So yeah, we'll have some changes coming in the side deck and the extra deck, and I know Joe wants me to play a different deck in hat tournaments going forward, so we'll see. Maybe I'll take out the hands and put in card cars. I don't think he'd like that very much. But yeah, so we got some replays here of all 10 rounds. That's a lot, so I'll try and go through them pretty quickly and just talk about any interesting things. I know there's a few different things that happened that are pretty cool. We'll see if I remember them. Round 1 was against Geargia. I won RPS, got to go first. Double ignition. And he missed the bottomless, so he didn't summon Arsenal. I summoned Scythe off of Sanctum just because there wasn't anything really better to summon, and that stopped him from trying to do any real plays. I don't know. Seemed okay. I don't think much about this game was too exciting, to be honest. Having double ignition for there's only 2 real back row, just what are you gonna do? Set armor, that's okay. I think I was going to like a breakthrough, hit both back row, pop the armor so he can't go into like an Exiton play. I know I have trap tricks, but I let him crash there. I sanked him in the end phase to get the other material so my fire hand can pop it, which means I do 5100, and then I'm just really up, and I have acid that I searched. Oh, right here, yeah, I stacked Diana just because I didn't really need anything else. And I had the trap tricks for the Exiton, and then just nothing. Only 2 back row both games, and I double ignition game 1, ignition double cyclone game 2, which just allowed me to play the game. So 1-0. I win RPS again, which is really good against the Bujin deck because I don't know what it is, but I really struggle. I just feel like if I go second against the Bujin deck with Hat, you just lose. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot you can do that I've found, and maybe I just am bad. But winning RPS against the Bujin deck felt really good. Bottomless for Mika. They didn't Lance. saving the lands for when they summon Yamato, maybe? I don't know. But Sanctum gets max seed, but that doesn't matter. I probably could have just straight summoned a Moralltach from deck to not give him 2 draws, but I didn't do that. Give him another draw off max seed, but I'm just going to kill him next turn. So we take game 1. And they open Yamato, so, you know, unfortunate. Yeah, MST has to skip his battle phase. I took a lot of flack from people for siding this card Soul Drain. Yeah, I mean, that's fair because I have hands in my deck and artifacts. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much for me here because he has the extender here, and I'm still going to lose the game. So yeah, took a lot of flack for Soul Drain being in my deck, but I've mostly liked it. So the theory is, and like low-key, I'm not gonna lie, I built this side deck a long time ago and half of it was copied from the winning Nats list, so take it with a grain of salt. I haven't really done a deep dive and theoried my side deck at all. But the theory behind Soul Drain is that if you have trap cards for the big monsters that decks like Mermail do put out, theoretically your trap tricks and your artifacts you summon off Sanctum are like good enough. Maybe. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. And Soul Drain is potentially coming out of my side deck going forward. But it was there this time, and it didn't do anything. But we got game 3 because I got to go first. I lose RPS against this Giga deck. And I Dark Hole what was either a hand or an armor or something. And it was a fire hand, so I love Dark Hole. You set a monster on your first turn and I have Dark Hole every time. I'm doing it every time. Did I draw Debunk? No. Unlucky. Put my ice hand, put in some pressure. I feel okay. I'm not too worried about Gear. Right there I could have flipped Scythe, but I just Sanctum popped it instead, which was maybe like not the play. I don't know. And then here I give him a draw off the max C, clear the thing. It seemed fine. I Torrential here, and that's mandatory, and they did they know? I think, yeah, I Ignition. So they knew that that was an artifact, so they set the Breakthrough to pop the Breakthrough. I don't know if that actually netted them as much advantage as they wanted it to, but, you know. We're pretty far ahead, and we have a Compulse and a Bottomless, so I don't think there's much that they're going to be able to do. They make an Alucard, but I Bottomless. They MST the Moralltach because they want a max C draw to see what happens, and then I win. So we take game 1. Skirga, even though he had to go second. I have the nobleman for the armor. Geared, that's okay. Again, I could have sanced him for a scythe, and I did not. I'm not really sure why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Couldn't have been an Exiton play because I had ignition set and he had wiretap set. So yeah, I don't know. It's possible that Scythe could have been really good there, but instead our Beagletalk's going to get breakthrough and they're going to resolve a Gear Gigantex. That's okay. Then I mind control that, and now I can honor arc it. And now I think I should have scythed here, but I'm a dummy. So yeah, again, I had another opportunity to scythe, and I did not. So I really probably should have. Also, did he soul charge and then go to battle phase? Hold on. Alright, one sec. Let's... This is game 2. Sorry, we get to rewatch some of this. I don't know if I'm losing it, or if he used soul charge and then went to battle phase and breakthrough my honor arc and attacked with his. We go, da, da, da. Gets breakthrough. Okay. Sets the armor passes. I mind control. Summon Dynea. Okay, he soul charges here. Yeah. And let's go next play. So I don't know why I don't flip Scythe. Oh, there's breakthrough here. Okay, so when does he break through the honor arc? Okay, not until after he summons honor arc. So this is why I don't go Scythe here. Oh, yeah. He just soul charge. What am I doing? I just... Why wouldn't he just use the effect? It's the same outcome. Playing around Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, I guess? Like, if he used the effect, I would have breakthroughed it. Okay, so, yeah, I let my opponent soul charge and go to battle phase. I'm a dummy. Pretty silly of me. I could have sanctumed... I could have scythed there again, but... I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm able to survive, which was really cool, because now I have this double Cyclone Moralltach play that's going to be great. And bottomless 2. So they weren't making pushes into anything, and I get crowed, which is unfortunate. I didn't attack because I didn't want it to be an armor. But now I decide to just kind of push and see what happens. Accelerator adds back, but that doesn't matter because of Murmillo's game. So I somehow come away with that game. I don't think I should have. Well, I think I should have if I don't let my opponent go to battle phase when they soul charge, but I feel like they played a little bit more conservatively than they needed to. And Or maybe I just don't know gears very well. I don't know. But we did the thing. I think that was game 2, right? Yeah, that was game 2. So we dropped 1 game so far in the first 3 rounds. I win RPS again. So the true reason behind the 10-0 run. How many RPSs did I win? This is round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is round 4. So let's track. I've won 3 RPS so far. So I am Mermillo and do all sorts of cool stuff. And this is actually a really cool deck. I don't know if you guys have seen, depending on how much hat content you watch or follow, the Quackimiro Fire Fist deck. There were 2 Quackimiro decks in Top Cut. So we're going to keep track of how many games I've lost and how many RPSs I've won. I feel like it's too early for me to tell what I think about these Quackimiro decks. But from what I recall playing against them in Swiss, I don't know that I struggled too much. I think maybe I just outdrew them considerably, but I don't know. So they're doing their little things with their tankies and their stuff. I'm just setting my hands and my artifacts, and eventually we're gonna do some stuff. And I can activate Ignition if my thing is full. I debunk the Crow to get the Beagle Talk live. It gets Breakthrough. I chain Ignition. And now I'm just going to try and pick apart the whole board. Yeah, it gets this thing when it destroys a monster by battle. That's why it's doing stuff. But now, so I picked apart all of his monsters, and I've still got Torrential, Breakthrough, and 2 hands on board. So I'm in like a pretty good spot, I feel like. I let him kind of do stuff. That's fine. Soul Charge. These can't be destroyed by card effect this turn, so I don't Torrential. Ice Hand is going to pop that. And I just cowboyed for game. The Quackimiro Drago can't summon Lighter Dark, so good thing Cowboy is Earth. That was funny. Yeah, so I just had the Soul Charge for Cowboy. And yeah, he had 2 cards in hand, so I targeted 4 hands in case of double DD Crow. And alright, so we win that match. Excuse me. I forgot to bring my water down here. So, alright, so in this match, it's a hat mirror. I think he was playing hands and not card. I don't remember exactly. I hit the Ignition, summon this in defense. Grab Bottomless Pass, they clear. He wants to clear because he's got 2 Diane, of course, so it's going to get Bottomless, but that's okay because Mermillo clears. Main phase 2, he does that. And then he black ships the hand, and that's fine. I set 2 pass, he hits the Breakthrough, unfortunate. And then double Cyclone in the end phase hits the Bottomless, so he's hitting the good cards. And yeah, I'm just in a bad spot here. But I have Scythe. So A+ for Scythe. Activate Scythe. Yeah, okay, no breakthrough. I don't remember why I thought there was a breakthrough there. I have the breakthrough. So, Scythe stopped me from taking 6,300 damage and dealing with a Pleiades here, which was great. And they couldn't attack over it because it's big. Aha. So, the Scythe got me into a position where now I'm going to pick apart half their board with the hands. Because Ice Hand's going to pop the Soul Charge, which is great. I learned my lesson last time. Don't set Soul Charge. So now they just have one Moralltach. They have a hand, so they're going to clear my hand and they're going to clear my Scythe. But I would have been like dead if I didn't have the Scythe here. So now I top deck Soul Charge. It's great. Being me. The bottomless doesn't like super matter. I just put the cowboy back because, of course I put the cowboy back. Why on earth would I want to lose? I'm at 200 life points. And now he's also at 200 life points. I know he has the bottomless, which is why I don't flip summon that. I had game sooner than I realized because of I could have got the bottomless, the fire hand, and then summoned whatchamacallit, the dragon that pokes. The turn that he drew call. So I misplayed a little bit, unfortunately. I get torrential, but he gets torrential too. But it was his own torrential, so I didn't trigger. And then I attacked for game because I had trap tricks for the Moralltach. So felt like I probably shouldn't have won that game. I don't remember. Did I win RPS? Did I go first? Blue chose to go first. No, I lost RPS. Okay. So I've lost RPS twice now. Summon, Nobleman, attack, get Dark Hold, Ice Hand. Here we go. Take a couple Ice Hands, trying to get something. Now we have the warning, so we can try and do something. My Moralltach gets crowed, sad. But now I get access to my Trap Tricks Trap Hole. I still don't attack, and then I don't know why I don't attack. Oh, then I get mad at him because why does if you're gonna use tokens instead of pointing at the cards, then turn your choose zones on, is what I said. Transmigration shuffles in my thing, which is unfortunate, but we still poke for 31. They ran out of some monsters, so I'm in a good spot here. And then they drew Murmillo. And Soul Charge. Yay. And then they know I have the trap tricks. And okay, so now we're going to learn something about dueling book etiquette, especially in free tournaments that have no prizes. Step 1. Don't make illegal activations in the damage step. We all know better. I was viewing my deck. I come out of my deck. The bottomless is already face up on the field. So I say, damage step. You can't do that. And then I look at my graveyard immediately. I don't look at I wasn't paying attention to the field anymore because the bottomless got flipped face down. I check my graveyard. I exit my graveyard, and then I notice that I misclicked my fire hand. Of course, I'm summoning my fire hand in attack mode. My ice hand just resolved. He does not have debunk. I'm summoning my fire hand, crashing it, and attacking for game. That is like the most obvious thing in the world. It was very clearly a misclick. There's no world where you can argue that that's a misplay, where I went into my deck, you know what, I'm going to summon Fire Hand in defense mode and leave my battle phase while my opponent's at 700 life points. There's just no world where that's what happened. So it's just a situation where it's a very obvious misclick. And then I didn't catch it right away because I was distracted by the illegal activation in the damage step. And then I said, was a misclick. And he said, you summoned in defense. And I said, it was very clear misclick. If it was a misclick, you wouldn't have changed your mind after like 10 seconds after. I was like, okay. So we go through this whole thing, and he like copies the log. I was just like, he's already disconnected and reconnected once. Like, we've had lag. There was just shit going on. It was a misclick. We all know it. Nobody thinks I'm misplaying by summoning that Fire Hand in defense. So we wait for a judge for a while, but it was late, and the European guys ahead of the server were asleep. So, and then he's like, oh, you're going to win this game anyway, so I'm not going to let you take back a misplay. He's just still trying to force it into a misplay, which it just wasn't. Blah, blah, blah. And then he's finally like, just play it out from here, and if the judge come on and rule that you can take it back, I'll concede. And I say, sure, fine. And then I activate Call of the Haunted. And it gets wiretapped. And I change the defense, set, and pass. That gets breakthrough'd. Attacks over Dianea. Great. I draw Dianea. I think I probably summon it. Oh no, I go to battle phase because I can summon it in main phase 2. I take 500, Fire Hand activates, I summon Ice Hand, I try to attack for game, but he says on summon, and what he really means is after we leave the damage step. He activates Sanctum, summons Moralltach, doesn't activate the effect. I crash. I don't know. Oh, I think I know. I know where the bottomless is. So I roll a die and I pick the bottomless. Because, of course I do. Summon the Fire Hand. And then main phase 2, Dianea. Reset the bottomless in case something crazy happens. And then I cowboy for game. Alright, so. Dueling book etiquette. When your opponent misclicks and it's an obvious misclick, you don't shark them on it. We played again in top 8, and it was a much better match with no judge calls or anything, so it's fine. But just is what it is. Alright, we're coming up on the half an hour mark. We're halfway there. Okay, so we play another Quacky Mirror deck. I win the RPS again. So this is round 6. So I've won 4 out of 6 RPS, and I've only dropped a game so far. I warning his monster because them having monsters makes me unhappy. And then I double Cyclone. I get Max Seed, but that's okay because I destroy his monster. Because I don't like it when they have monsters. I want the monsters. Their monsters are good. So now I'm putting on pressure. I've got a Sanctum and an Ignition, which is really good. I let him pop that because it doesn't super matter. Pop that Breakthrough. And there's a Breakthrough there, but that doesn't matter because I have another Sanctum. Oh, something happens here. Oh, there's a glitch. Ah, but I have Soul Charge. So I Volk, set, pass, and then I win. Hooray. Game 2. He does some more stuff. And I'll put the replay links for all these rounds because I know we're kind of going through these kind of fast, but there's a lot of them and I didn't want this to be a 2-hour video. So I'll put the replays so you can go through at your own pace if there's a specific game you wanted to watch in more detail that I kind of glazed over. Because yeah, some of these Quacky Mirror decks are pretty interesting, regardless of the fact that I did a lot of winning of them. And then I get Moralltach and Scythe here. I can't destroy the Quacky Mirror cards, but that's okay. I destroy the Tiger King and I hit the Scythe. So he can't go into his extra deck main phase 2. And he's just got some monsters. And I have Tiras. Tiras is such a good card. Hit one monster, destroy the other, set Sanctum Ignition. Bottomless is monster, and now I'm just putting on pressure, and now it's just going, what, one at a time. He didn't set the warning, because he didn't want to lose it to the Tiras, I guess. But then it didn't matter. He had too many monsters, and I just had an answer for each one every turn. It is what it is. So I'm 6-0, and this is the last round of Swiss. I got paired down because I was the last undefeated. I win another RPS. And this is a really cool deck. A little Guaiba artifact deck. I do think I lost a game in this matchup. I Moralltach, it gets bottomless, but that goes away. I say 1400, and that gets sanctumed. And yeah, so I was like, I feel like I'm either dumb or I have a double cyclone that says it has to target a set card I control. Because I did something stupid in an IRL hat tournament. I won the tournament still at my locals like a week or two ago, but I feel like I like targeted a set card I wasn't using, and I had double cyclone, and I had to use 3 cards. So I either just can't read, or an old printing of that card actually says it has to target a set card you control. They do some stuff. He does some stuff. I activate Sanctum. It gets max seed, whatever. I pop it. Now he has 2 soul charges, but I have Scythe. Armades into Pleiades here, and I have soul charge. That gets bounced to my hand. I tribute set it because I have another soul charge. And that gets ignition, which is unfortunate. He's scared of a hand, so he doesn't attack. I try to attack the Pleiades, and I get Call of the Haunted instead. That gets breakthrough, and we learned that I cannot duality here because the activation was not negated, the effect was negated. So unfortunate. So I set 2, pass. I'm still alive somehow. I don't know how I didn't die 3 turns ago. Playing a little conservatively, which is probably the right thing to do. I target 4 monsters. Dynea resets bottomless. And then I go Volk here. And the Pleiades doesn't knock back the Volk. I should have lost this game, I think. Almost assuredly. I thought that when the Pleiades didn't bounce my Volk, that this was just an answer to the Cowboy. But it was not. And I might have known that that was a set from Ignition at the time. But yeah, there's Cowboy in my extra deck. There will always be a Cowboy in my extra deck. So we win game 1. In a game that we probably shouldn't have won. This game, I don't think we're going to win. I don't remember why. Sanctum a Beagle, hit the Moral, it gets breakthrough, so I don't hit the Moral, I get Trap Tricks. I don't do anything, and I get mind controlled, so I get a Tiras. Tiras is so good. We break through the Tiras. It is not a maintenance cost. We learn that later, but that doesn't really matter. Maybe it does. I just get my battle phase, which is unfortunate. I summon the Fire Hand. Honor Arc the Tiras. Sanctum, summon Scythe. I Trap Tricks, Trap Hole it. And I have Bottomless for the Soul Charge card. I gets Breakthrough. I say Unlucky. I have Compulse for the Tiras. My Moralltach gets crowed, unfortunately. And I summon Sanctum. I set Sanctum. And it gets Breakthrough. And then Forbidden. duress for the Guaiba, and then that wins the game because now there's Alagia on board. So I almost won this game. If I hold that dark hole for a little longer, I like maybe win the game. Maybe. It was a little greedy to activate it and hope he just didn't have a breakthrough. So a bit of a misstep. I can't come back from this, so we're just gonna go to the next game. I'm top decking against a Lagia, and then he made another Lagia and had a debunk set, so I go first game 3. That is the second game I've lost this tournament. We put early pressure. He has the Guaiba, but I have the Ice Hand. Ignition hits, makes a Armades, which is really good. But I have Honor Arc, so you know, I let the Guaiba go. Exiton, I have the breakthrough for it. I compulse it, flip summon, put on some pressure, and now I'm just in a good spot until I get Dark Hold. But I have like Bottomless Torrential and Debunk, so yeah. All right, 7-0 in Swiss. We've won 5 RPS. We've lost 2 games. Top 8. We get a rematch with Happy. I win another RPS. Oh yeah, okay, so I actually don't remember if I won this RPS in the real match. He disconnected, so he had to repair the game state. So we repaired it to what happened and blah blah blah. I had Call Moral set with Merm and Dynea in hand, and he had this stuff set. And the breakthrough was gone. The Ice Hand triggered. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was his end phase. It was my end. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was my end phase. We did some stuff. He drew past, just because he didn't have an answer to the hands. So if he summoned the Fire Hand, or set the call, they were both gonna get lost. Unless he turned this to defense. I don't know. He could have like turned this to defense and then set the call, I guess. But it's okay. We're gonna out the Moralltach, get the Ice Hand. And now we lose to the Fire Hand because it's going to make my Ice Hand miss timing. And that's okay, because we have Dynea. Oh. Yeah, the Moralltach was trailing 2. That didn't matter. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't popping a hand. But I had Call to get the second 4. So now I make the Ice Hand miss timing, and now I can hit the Call, which makes the Moralltach go away. And now I do 16. And now I'm in a really good spot because I can Ignition in the end phase. 48 plus Cowboy is game, so we get game 1. I feel like I start out in a pretty good spot here. Break through the Dynea. Ice Hand is gonna do some stuff. He's really pushing into the hands here. That gets crowed, which is unfortunate because I also have the Dynea here, which is unlucky. Now I out the Dynea, or I don't out the Dynea because he DD Crow's my Moralltach. But now I have double Cyclone. So he breakthroughs that, but that's okay because now I have a monster bigger than Dianea. Moralltach, I bottomless, and then breakthrough. So well, breakthrough. So how this resolves: breakthrough resolves, negates the monster, and then bottomless resolves, removing it from the field. But the effect still attempts to resolve on field. So it's still negated, and I keep my monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chain Links 101. If this bottomless had been a Book of Moon, it would have been different, but it was not. So we do that, we push for more damage, and now we're in an okay spot. Ignition is pretty good. Soul Charge. Yeah, Soul Charge does some stuff. So that's pretty good. But I have my own Soul Charge. It gets bottomless, but I baited it. I knew the bottomless was there. And I win the duel. Yeah, so I looked at my Soul Charge. I was like, if I summon 2 Fire Hands, he's gonna bottomless here. And then he did. It was great. So we win top 8. Move on to top 4. Mermails. I lose RPS again for the 3rd time. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I win RPS in the finals, which is a good thing because nobody wanted that deck to win this tournament. So Mermails does some stuff. I attack over the Undine. I duality into Ignition, which is great. So I set 3. Try to leave main phase. He said, oh, maybe he set the Ignition. I did not set the Ignition. I have a Moralltach for the Leo. It gets breakthrough. I have double Cyclone for the second Moralltach. Leo goes bye-bye. He pops my Sanctum, which pops the Teus, and then I kill him. So game 2. Alright, so game 2 goes first. Pike pitch Teus isn't the best start. And it was a Malcat. Oh, I didn't actually look it up after this. We just kind of assumed that you couldn't. Can you use a Malevolent Catastrophe with no other spell traps on the field? I assume it's just like Heavy Storm, right? Ah. AI says I can. Other rulings. Why does AI say I can? Oh, OCG runes, okay. It does not, okay, it doesn't mention it there. So, yeah, if anybody knows, chime in. We were under the assumption that you could not, because you can't Heavy Storm with none, so if he could, that kind of changes a little bit. Not too much, like, I mean, he opened not very well, and I did have another hand in hand. So So like the most important thing is that even if he activates it, it's gone and can't be used again. So like so now in Zen phase we have the double cyclone and we hit both cards and then we can Sanctum hit that. So now we're just playing a lot of pressure. The only real difference is I would have taken an extra 16 and I wouldn't have one of these fire hands, but not convinced that that's the relevant part. Soul charge for 2. That's okay. We let him do his thing. Infantry. Hit the Moralltach. Right here, I don't negate the Dweller with Trap Tricks. It's arguable that maybe I should have, but I figured they'd have a tough time getting rid of both fire hands. Not sure. So here is a really cool play. This match I learned that Dweller boosts all water monsters and not just itself. So I'm a dummy. But so it's great because attacking into the Undyne at 1700 is a win-win. I can either crash the fire hand and pop the Dweller and then attack over the Undyne, or the Dweller activates and the Undyne is lower and the fire hand doesn't crash, which means it's on the field for next turn. So that was a cool line. Really pleased about that one. A very cool win-win. And now I have Warning. For the Leo, which is great. Dark Hole takes care of the fire hand, but then just wins the game. So on to the finals. We got one round left, and it's against Infernity. Hate it. But I went RPS. So I'm just built different. And I have Ice Hand. I set Ice Hand going first. Never. But it's Infernity. So I'm like, if they're going to go to a battle phase, it's probably going to be with some set spell trap cards, right? Maybe. They don't always combo off right away, though. So that might not have been the smartest thing to do. Still. But I did it. He Night Beams the double Cyclone, which made me sad. He instant fusions, but I play Scythe, so he has to pass. It was great. Crash the Ice Hand, hit the Vanity, summon that, put in some damage. Sanctum, hit the launcher. I was not playing around Double Break. I thought I was just going to win the game here without flip summoning the Ice Hand. I didn't want to flip into a Torrential. And it just didn't matter. Too far ahead. So really quick game one. I'm feeling great. And then I'm still feeling great. My Sanctum gets wiretapped. So I wiretap it to get a Scythe out. Felt really good about it. And then I didn't have a wiretap for the debunk. And then from there, I was just behind. So I lost my hand, and he pitched a Soul Charge. So like, of course, he has another one. I max C. But he's able to normal summon a monster that outs the Scythe because of the field spell. And now I just can no longer really win the game because I didn't draw a hand soon enough. Now both of these are protected. And I lose game 2. And now I'm nervous because winning a game against Infernity is never easy if they draw well. And I draw 3 cards. Like, I drew 6 cards, but 3 duplicates. So essentially, I had 3 cards. Double Debunk, double Moral, double Fire Hand. And I just think to myself, I'm going to come all this way, undefeated run in the tournament, to lose to Infernity, the most hated deck of the format. Ugh. I was sick when I drew this hand. especially when he made Honor Arc that turned off the hand. I set the second hand because I didn't want to die, and if he puts another monster on the board, it's live. Unfortunately, the monster he puts on the board is Key Beetle, so now, instead of destroying it, Key Beetle sends it so I don't get the ice hand, and I take 25, and now I'm just in a bad spot. But, luckily for me, he didn't go off. Like, I've got 4 cards set, so of course it's a little scary to try to Infernity combo into that, right? But, like, he just could have made his barrier live at the very least. He didn't know that I couldn't stop him. But I had moral, debunk. So I just could have lost the game right here. If he launchers, summons Archfiend, searches for break, sets break, I lose. And he wins the tournament. But he's playing conservatively into 4 traps. So then I duality into a Sanctum. So I'm able to set the activate the Sanctum, and I do it early because I don't want to give him a chance to protect the Key Beetle, because if he protects the Key Beetle, he can attack over all of my monsters, and then I don't have any follow-up. So at this point I have to rely on the debunks on the Stygians being good enough for me to win. And he starts going off, searches. Now he's comboing, and he plays into the debunk, and he has the launcher, so he discards it, activates it, summons it, and he plays into the second debunk by searching another monster that he's going to summon off of Stygian. I debunk it. So he crashes there to get rid of one of the 5s. I ignition the back row. I wasn't sure what it was. I tribute summon the Scythe, clear both monsters, and I summon a Pleiades. Wait till the card is set, bounce back the Necromancer, and then I top Soul Charge. Soul Charge has been my card, let me tell you. So, I dropped my 3rd game of the tournament also. So I lost 3 games and lost 3 RPS. So 10 rounds, 20-3 in games. What a feat. I don't know what this is, so I bounce it back. And then I soul charge into 2 4s and 2 5s. Then I make Durendal and Berserk. The misplay is that I use Rhapsody to equip. As soon as I did it, I immediately was like, I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. Because now I can't force Durendal to pop this if I need to. And so here I don't Durendal here, and I probably should have, because I mean, if he sends Stygian summon Necromancer, and Necromancer effect, I can do it there. And if he doesn't do that, then I just have it for the trap card that he's going to activate. So that was my logic. So maybe it was okay. I'm still not sure if I was supposed to use it there or not, but I didn't, and it worked out. Yeah, he sent Archfiend for next turn's Necromancer. I summon Gaia, I attack. Set Solemn, which is crazy. And then I warning, and then there's just nothing he can do anymore. He instant fusions, doesn't do anything, and I can negate the break, or I can negate the break. So we win the finals. 10-0, Moralltach monthly 30. Join the Hat Tournament Discord. Link will be in the description, along with the link to my deck list and a link to all the replays. What an event. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.